What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? I know it's Misery Monday. I know there's not too many promising or positive things to come out of yesterday's game seeing, but I'm going to tell you after watching condensed cut ups of all of the games that were played yesterday, I'm definitely able to grade Jayden Daniels on a curve. He played a lot better than myself, and a lot of fans would like to admit coming off a snapshot reaction of yesterday's game. But let's get to it. Let's talk about Jayden Daniels' first game as a Washington Commander. First misery Monday of the season, Washington took a 37-20 shellacking in Tampa Bay yesterday. I'm sure most of you would like to forget about it by now, but we have a rookie quarterback that we need to talk about. And three rookie quarterbacks made their NFL debuts yesterday. Things are not straightforward comparisons. Every game situation, every coaching situation is vastly different. I would like you guys to go watch Caleb Williams' every pass and run he made yesterday. And then after that, watch every Bo Nix pass and run he made yesterday. And then lastly, turn on our guy and see the big difference between all three of them. Because there's a big difference. Jayden Daniels did not have nearly as many turnover worthy plays. He made the snappiest decisions, and Jayden actually made things happen with his eyes and with his mind. Did he miss some things? Absolutely. But there was a lot of good Jayden Daniels put on tape yesterday. There's just a couple things. Jayden Daniels, for whatever reason it is, he cannot throw screen passes on first down. He needs a couple rhythm throws to throw a screen pass because first down screen passes, he's throwing them shits to the clouds. I don't know what it is about that. He's either throwing them to the clouds or he puts too much air under him. He doesn't do that. Secondly, I'm looking at the QB production from yesterday. QB production was at an all-time low yesterday. Lots of quarterbacks, paid quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks, established quarterbacks in this league had lackluster week one performances. It was a very wacky week one all around. Let's start at number 15. Daniel Jones of the New York Giants. He is not the caliber of quarterback I speak of when I say it, but he is a quarterback making $40 million a year. So you could put the quotes around it, but he is technically established. Giants fans would probably say otherwise. 186 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Since getting his $160 million contract, he has more pick sixes than touchdown passes for the New York Giants. Dak Prescott did not need to throw for more than 179 yards, so we can skip him here. Geno Smith, $35 million a year, was not asked to do much. He threw for 171 yards yesterday. Deshaun Watson, who was stealing money from the Cleveland Browns and a shell of himself. I saw a tweet yesterday that said, this is not Deshaun Watson playing for the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson died on that massage table, and we don't know who this imposter is that came out. Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert. You see where I'm going here? That is over $1 billion of quarterback established money that looked really bad. And when you watch the eye test, it looks significantly worse. Jayden had a good grade yesterday, especially when you put it in context of how all quarterbacks played yesterday. This was not a light 'em up quarterback Sunday at all. But Jayden saw things, he reacted to things as he saw them, and he actually did what he could. See, upon watching the game immediately following, it looked like Jayden was running and just tucking and running because he felt like it and freestyling through the offense yesterday. Jayden was running the ball yesterday because it was the only option for this team to move the chains. The wide receivers produced as much as you and I yesterday. Sitting on the couch at home watching TV, you were a Washington Commanders wide receiver yesterday because the production is equivalent. 3 catches for less than 20 yards is the most production we got out of a wide receiver yesterday. And that's including wide receiver one, F1 McLaurin, who did absolutely nothing yesterday. But Terry's day would have looked drastically different if Jayden hits the deep ball on the first play of the second half. Talk about a momentum swing. We open up probably one of the better play calls of the day. We open up the second half, literally 15 minutes still on the clock, and run a go route to Terry up the left sideline. You want to know why this go route works? Because Terry absolutely beats the shit out of the cornerback. Jamel Dean, he leaves him flat-footed. Jayden, as a rookie quarterback, immediately senses Jamel Dean standing flat-footed while Terry McLaurin is headed full speed 4-3 sprint up the sideline. Jayden was a phenomenal deep ball thrower at LSU. I'm surprised we didn't see any slot fades called or any deep posts, but you've got to hit that throw. And if he hits that throw, we're definitely talking about him in even better light. He still finished the day 17 of 24, 184 yards, but we cannot discount the fact he did run for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yes, one of them was in crunch, one of them was in garbage time, but he's the first quarterback in NFL history to open up his career with 80 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's the thing. We don't ever want that again. For all of the RG3 parallels people would like to draw, RG3 never ran the ball 16 times in a game. His career high was, I believe, 13. So this was even more one-dimensional than the rinky-dink offense we were running in RG3's rookie year because he never saw 16 carries in a game. Jayden was very effective running, and he picked his spots very well. Does he need to learn how to slide rather than tumble? Absolutely. Does he need a new helmet and he needs to learn how to buckle up his chin strap? Fucking right. But his instincts aren't lying to him. He's seeing the field. He's grasping the concepts. The problem yesterday was we got absolutely dog shit production from our wide receivers, and Cliff Kingsbury's game plan was ass and a half. Ass and a half. Cliff Kingsbury's game plan was scared, and it looked like fear. It looked like I anticipate Todd Bowles to blitz this kid all day. So my play calls are going to be around fear. We fear you blitzing, so we're going to call a bunch of stupid ass, short, rinky dink ass routes, and we're going to be afraid to open this shit up vertically. That, and I have no idea how the balance of run works. I'm not closing the door on Cliff Kingsbury's offense, but I can see why a lot of people would see yesterday and see, oh, wow, this looks like a lot like what Eric Bieniemy did for the team last year. And I don't want to feel like that ever again. Jayden finished yesterday 7th in EPA, 7th out of all the quarterbacks that played, 4th in success rate, 2nd in expected completion percentage. Emphasis on expected. But he looked good yesterday. Jayden looked good. He looked sharp with what was out there. He faced 5+ rushers on 47% of his dropbacks. That was 2nd highest rate in all of week 1. I'm going to repeat that. Jayden faced 5+ rushers in 47% of his dropbacks. We already knew Todd Bowles is top 3 in blitz rate percentage on a regular basis, and it's usually not the 3 or the 2. He was pressured on 38% of his dropbacks, 7th highest in the league. His average time to throw was 2.3 seconds. So you get why there's a bunch of quick game stuff, but the quick game stuff did not make any sense. It didn't make any sense, man. It was just an all-around stinker for Washington yesterday, but we cannot necessarily grade Jayden on the same curve as the rest of the team. Like myself, I did on my post-game show yesterday. I gave everybody like an F or at most a D+, but Jayden definitely played a C+ ball game yesterday. It was his first ever game in the NFL. He made things happen when he could. We had some stuff called back. He missed a couple throws that would have probably changed the game offensively, but most likely was not going to change the outcome because our defense couldn't catch a cold. We were so down bad yesterday. Even Bobby Wagner looked confused. We're talking about the most prepared football playing linebacker of the last 10 to 12 years. Even he looked a little discombobulated. We had a lot of coverage gaffes. We had a lot of miscommunication. How many times we're going to hear Benjamin St. Juste go to a post-game presser and say the communication was bad? We got a lot of things to fix and a lot of things to pull from. We got to shake back in week 2. But I feel like Jayden Daniels was a glimmer of hope yesterday. And we never want to see him run the ball 16 times ever again. That's unheard of. But he did some good things. He picked his spots well. He got the ball out of his hands quick. And when they actually dialed up some wide receiver friendly routes to get the drive going, like slants, quick hitters, Jayden got the ball out of his hand accurately, quickly, even in between defenders at times. Jayden Daniels played a solid game in his first game of his NFL career. So stop the Jayden Daniels running back shit. Jayden Daniels is a bust. Stop those dumbass conversations after one thing. He is the only thing that made that game bearable for Washington yesterday. And when you look league-wide in a wider scope, he played better than most of the quarterbacks that stepped on a football field yesterday. Some of your favorite quarterbacks of other teams, they looked a lot worse, and they're making a lot more coin than our rookie quarterback. I need to see Brandon Coleman starting at tackle next week as well. I don't need to see any more Cornelius Lucas at left tackle, because when Brandon Coleman was out there, he was running like a motherfucker. That effort was high energy, and he got better feet than I thought he could. Jayden Daniels, it would start in week 2. We could see a better Jayden. We could see a better offense if the receivers give him a chance. The receivers didn't give him much of a chance, and that's including Terry McLaurin. Outside of the one big go ball, it was a bunch of guys getting covered all day long. A bunch of guys getting covered, no separation. Our best pass catchers yesterday were the running backs and the tight end, because if you take Zach Ertz and the 2 running backs out the equation, you pretty much had a bunch of fans out there playing receiver for the Commanders yesterday. That is not a situation that any rookie quarterback needs to be put into. And look at Caleb in Chicago. He has weapons for days, weapons galore. Bo Nix, similar amount of weapons as our guy has here. Bo Nix could have thrown 6 interceptions yesterday. Outside of his rushing touchdown, Bo Nix put nothing positive on tape yesterday. Caleb didn't throw for 100 yards. Our guy looks significantly better and more advanced from a mental standpoint and with his eyes. You can tell he sees it better than both of those guys. And Bo Nix started like 1,000 games in college. So that's not something that Broncos fans should be happy about. But at the end of the day, these are rookie quarterbacks, and they're going to come with growing pains and rookie mistakes. We can't act like they can't have off days when some of the top 10 paid quarterbacks in this league, most of them, a lot of them had lackluster week 1 games. Week 1 is a wacky week of the NFL. Teams need to settle in. I don't expect Jayden or the Washington Commanders to look like they did versus Tampa Bay again this season, but we shall see. We're going to find out just how well these coaches adjust. We're going to find out just how well these coaches adapt, and what the communication skills between coach and player is like here, because you know how long we've heard how coaches aren't getting through to the players, and what we were supposed to expect was that if they were going to finally get through now that we have new guys. Well, it was the first live full contact situation our coaches and players have had. I'm going to chalk it up to that. The team, awful. F performance. Jayden Daniels, C+ performance. Only glimmer of hope Washington had yesterday, and he played better than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL did yesterday. And the spots that he chose to use his legs, he used them because it was all we had on the majority of those plays. Jayden Daniels was very solid in his debut. A lot to pull from in a positive note going forward. Week 2 at the New York Giants, I expect this to look a lot better. We're going to do a Misery Monday stream at 2 p.m. on the channel. Pull up and let's talk about it one day later, with a little post-nut clarity, seeing things a little different than our immediate snapshot reactions to game day. Y'all know who it is. Rio Robinson, rambling with Rio. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders.